Thank you, Anfas, for that generous introduction. So I'll just get started with my presentation over here. So I'll be basically be talking about two branches. That's engineering physics BTech. Some colleges has a BTech plus MTech option also, but like EP in general, I'll be talking about EP as well as physics BSMS. That's a dual degree program that's offered by certain IITs and NITs. So we'll be going like so basically EP is a course which is offered by it's a very new course. So it's only like it's not offered like off the board by any like any engineering university. So you might see that like most typical universities like will have branches such as mechanical, electrical, civil, etc., which are like core engineering subjects which are like very established. But engineering physics is a much more newer phenomena. So it has only been like started like in the 1990s itself. So like the first EP course was started in the US, and the trend followed through into India, where like some of the top IITs as well as NITs offer it. So EP, so I'll basically go over the syllabus of engineering physics. By the way, like so physics BSMS is the regular pure science course. This is sort of the course that you'll have if you are attending an ICER or an IASC or something of that sort. Yeah. So I'll basically be going over the syllabus. So if you're like so I'll be talking basically be talking generally about IIT Madras engineering physics program because that's where I come from. So but it is like to a majority part like extendable to any other engineering physics program in any other IIT. So there will be a slight variation in how things are done in other universities, but I'll be majorly be basing all my presentation based on IIT Madras EP. So the EP curriculum is basically structured that so that you have an understanding of physics as well as electrical. So your first 2 years, you're gonna have a lot of mandatory courses. So one like really cool benefit of studying at IIT or NIT, like any top institute in IIT, like India, is that you're not like hard bound to like actually do the set of courses or the syllabus that like the college ask you to. So if you go to like some other like lower tier colleges, they'll ask you to like do these specific courses. But if you're in IIT, you have this thing where you have a set number of mandatory courses, and you can also choose electives, where the electives can come from any department. So in an engineering physics program, your first 2 years would be would majorly be mandatory courses from the Department of Electrical Engineering as well as Department of Physics. So by the end of your first 2 years, you'll have a really solid understanding of foundational physics as well as electrical. And after that, the next 2 years, you have majorly electives only. So you can decide which way you want to go. So based on your understanding of electrical or physics, you can go either way. So you can choose you have courses which are really easy. That's the undergrad level courses. But when you reach a third and fourth year, you'll start taking courses which are more specific to MTech or like PhD level courses. That's the benefit of like being in an IIT or an NIT, because like in these courses the professor will basically be teaching you what he researches on. So it's like the state of the art knowledge if you're taking these courses. So in the third and fourth year, you can decide which direction you want to go. You can either take like graduate level physics courses and like pursue onto a career in the physics, or you can take electrical engineering courses and go to the electrical side. That's the flexibility that EP offers. Or you can ditch both and like go do courses in humanities, economics, and like get a finance job, or like do something in management, and you can actually get better non-core job prospects. So that's basically how an EP program is like constructed. For a physics BSMS, it's majorly, so you don't have this much amount of flexibility. So in your first 3 years, you'll have a lot of like mandatory physics courses that you have to take. And I don't know if I'm talking from my bias point, but I genuinely feel that like you shouldn't be coming to IIT just to study physics. If your interest is like pure core physics, I like, and you know that you want to do like theoretical physics for your life, I would highly recommend that you look at other options such as IISc or like ICER, Kolkata. Yeah, other ICERs I don't think it's that good. But if you like, so if you bet you're better off going to IISc or ICER Kolkata. But yeah, so physics BSMS would mandatorily be like a lot of physics courses, and you won't have a flexibility. So one thing that you have, like, so the flexibility that EP offers is in a different league. Like no other courses offer the same amount of flexibility. So I have done courses ranging from like Indian philosophy to like China politics. So yeah, I'll be taking the questions after the presentation. So like whoever is asking questions in the chats, I'll answer them after the presentation. So like I'm not ignoring you. I acknowledge the fact that you have asked the question. Yeah. So the next thing that we want to talk about is the career options that we have. Like once you graduate EP. So like one major thing that you will be looking forward to once you get into NIT is having a stable future. Like you don't want to like, so the very point of IIT is to have a very like bright future. That's what motivated all of you to like actually crack JEE Advanced. Is a very grueling experience, but yeah, you basically get it through like on the hope of a better future. So the career options that you have, so like since I talked like about you can move into electrical. So there's a lot of companies that come for electrical jobs. So companies like Nvidia, Qualcomm, Samsung, ARM, Micron, TSMC, AMD, and stuff like that. Like is also open for EP. So we have a lot of people from my branch who went into Intel. So like one of my best friends is at Intel right now. He's a process engineer. So you'll be basically fabricating chips, or like you can go into signal processing. So signal processing would like directly lead you into fields like machine learning or artificial intelligence and stuff like that. So that's one side of the career options. The other side is like if you want to go physics, there's no physics undergrad job. So physics is one of the fields where you have to have a higher degree to actually contribute to it. So EP is a really solid foundation to like if you want to apply for like higher studies abroad. So like I'm doing right now, I'm doing a PhD in physics in the US. So it's a really solid foundation if you take like a lot of physics courses in your third and fourth year. And like besides all this, there's like alternative careers that you could pursue. And like in India, it's very rare to like actually get into a core engineering job, because compared to like other jobs such as finance or consulting and stuff like that, it's far less paying, and like it pays very less, and it's very few in number. And the growth that you can see in India is very less. So there are other career options such as finance, like you can go into investment banks. Like so one benefit that EP lets you have is that you know the most advanced math of any branch in like any IIT. So even computer science people won't be dealing with like this amount of advanced math that we have in engineering physics, because basically you will be you'll be learning a lot of advanced physics, which uses a lot of advanced concepts. So this lets you have an advantage when you apply for like finance jobs, which are really high paying, and that has a really high growth prospect in it. Yeah. So anybody who has questions, just please type it in the chat. Like I will address them as we like after the presentation. Yeah. So you have jobs such as data analytics, finance, management consulting, and like all these IT roles would be open for like EP. So that's very, very helpful to have. So that's irrespective of stream. You will have access to all these jobs if you are in the right place. So if you resort to like lower tier IITs, so most companies like this like prefer to go only for like 3 or 4 campuses, because most of them won't have the HR resources to actually go to every campus. So they'll select like few IITs. Like certain companies just come for like the top 4 IITs. So like IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, Delhi, and Kanpur. So that's the only places that certain companies go. So it's very beneficial if you keep a preference for like higher brand value IITs and NITs, which lets you have access to these jobs. And another common question that we have in EP is that if you basically is it basically research oriented, or is it basically experimental physicist? So you have a really solid understanding of electronics as well as physics. This basically leads to, so one common area that like most of engineering physics like students go into is a field called quantum information. So that's basically you developing like quantum level systems. So you might be knowing like quantum mechanics from your plus two syllabus. So it's basically another paradigm shift to computing. So that's a very upcoming field, and there's a lot of demand coming in like the next 10 20 years, and this field is going to basically revolutionize. So this branch is like specifically suited for like those sort of fields. So you'll have a really solid understanding of the electronics and the electrical engineering that goes into like all these engineering systems, as well as the physics level understanding of all this stuff. Yeah. So like for research, this gotta be the best. This gotta be the best like branch to be in. Like you can basically diverge off to anywhere, since you have like any research that's quantitative would require math, and I basically diverge from like physics to biology. So I'm doing looking at biological systems in a mathematical perspective. So this is because like I am capable of doing this because I have a really solid foundation in math that I got from the engineering like physics core syllabus. So if you want to do research, this is sort of the best like branch you could be in. And yeah, so another common line of thought that we get asked by students is that like, is EP in every university the same? No, it is not. Every AEP program is different. IIT Madras has a really strong electrical engineering department, and the EP program is constructed in a way that it's a collaboration between the physics and electrical department. So you get a really strong electrical flavor to it. So you will know like a lot of electrical if you are studying EP. So like all the courses that like Alex student takes till the second year would majorly be covered in your EP syllabus. Yeah, but like other EP in IIT Guwahati, I think it's IIT Guwahati, has a really strong physics flavor to it. So it's less of engineering subjects and more of physics. So keep in mind, like go through all the syllabus. Make sure that you contact somebody in Tensors if you have any doubt regarding the syllabus. Just make sure that you read like what you're going to learn. This is a very important decision that's gonna affect the rest of your life. Like no pressure, but still, you have to like give it a lot of thought to actually make it. And like another like huge pitfall that I have to mention beforehand is like EP is gonna be tough. So like compared to branches such as chemical, which is like genuinely gonna be easy. So EP is gonna be hard. Like you have to put in effort academically to succeed in it. You can't just like study the day before the exam and like hope to get a good CG. Like it requires a lot of effort. So if you're the like sort of person who wants to like learn interesting stuff and you're willing to put in the hard work, then I suggest EP. But if you're like, okay, I slogged away 2 of my years in a factory, like in a coaching center studying for JEE Advanced, and I don't want to put effort anymore, I would highly suggest that you not take AP, because it's gonna be tough on you. It's gonna be tough on you. But the thing is that like for other branches, I don't take it with a pinch of salt. It's my personal bias. The stuff they're learning is not interesting. So if you ask somebody in mechanical, like if they genuinely like what they're doing, nope, they won't be liking what they do. Like, or anybody in like civil, let's just ignore CS and LEC for the time being. But any other branch, people won't genuinely like what they're doing. But I can tell you that in my branch, or like almost everybody likes what they learn, because it's super interesting. Like it requires you to like put like genuine creative thought into like what you learn. And I wouldn't trade this for anything else. And that like the fact that like out of a class of 25, so EP IIT Madras takes like 25 students every year. We have like 12, 13 people going for postgraduate studies every year. So that like this is why, so it shows the fact that people are interested. Like if you are so interested to a point that you want to learn more. So if you're the kind of person who likes learning, like likes learning interesting stuff, and who is okay with putting in the effort. So what like one genuine advice that I want to give like anybody who's joining like IITs or NITs, like it's not gonna be easy. Like you guys cleared one hurdle, like, and you might be in like cloud nine right now, like, oh, I'm super great. But once you go into IIT and everybody's cleared IIT there, you will like feel like you're at the bottom of the pit again. So like it's a constant struggle up. So just make sure that like you actually put in effort IIT and like actually do something and make of it. So and like nobody has a mentality of like just putting chill at like wherever they go. So that's the difficulty part of it. And another like common thing is that if you want to go like to foreign universities, like I have like, so I had a like international experience. So my third year summer, I spent at Germany. So that was basically because of my research exposure that I did at IIT Madras. So I did a research at RWTH Aachen, which is like world number 20 in physics. So that was a really good experience. So like, and the entire trip was paid. So the professor there paid for my entire expenses. So I basically spent 2 months, like 2.5 months in Europe, and I like it was a very chill time. I could like travel around, and like it was a really fun time. So these are the sort of like opportunities that you like get if you're in EP. So like for other branches, it won't be like if you'll be doing some internships at Bangalore, like Hyderabad or something. But like most of my class, like I think like out of a class of 25, like people who chose a research intern, most of them did it abroad. Like some of them did it in Denmark, some of them did it in US, some of them did it in Switzerland. So like while you're studying, you can actually go there and like live there while they are paying for you. So that's basically a really good experience. And if you like we should recognize the fact that like when you take the entire world into a context, IITs don't place really good. So and that's very true. Like you might be thinking that the rankings doesn't speak for itself, but having started classes in the US right now, I can definitely attest to it. Like the level of like foreign universities is very much different from what it is in the IIT. So you would like at a point want to consider doing a higher studies to like actually get a perspective of like outside job market, or getting an exposure to like international practices. So if you're applying for foreign universities, EP is a really solid foundation for you to go anywhere. So you can go, like we have had people who went for PhD studies in math. We have people going for MS or PhD in computer science, electrical. We have had people going into physics. We have had people going into biology. So there's a lot of fields that's open to you in terms of like higher studies, because this is a really solid foundation for you to build upon. And all the universities abroad like really value what you have here. So so I applied for like 4 universities abroad, and I got accepted in 3 of them. So that basically like, and it was not that hard. So I juggled my placement season. So your final like your 7th semester anywhere would be your placement season, as well as the period where you apply to university. So it's supposed to be hectic. So I jumbled both my placements as well as applying, and it was okay. It was manageable, and like I didn't have to like put in that much effort to like actually get it, compared to anybody from like any other branch or which has a very less probability of actually making it. So that like it's so on the base note, it's pretty easy to like actually get into a foreign university, like if you want to do a PhD or an MS, which I highly recommend anybody in EP to do. And that's mostly my prepared question. Like, shall I go into the questions right now?
one second, Sreejith. I'll just go over some of the main FAQ questions. Then you can move on to the chat and choose whichever questions you want to answer.
Oh yeah, cool.
Okay. So for the first thing, what type of a career that is? If you're not going for a higher studies, what type of a career is usually taken up after 4 years in EP?
Okay. So there's this. So people have this like very strong misconception about IITs. So when they think about placements in IITs, they only see that catchy headline, the 1 crore plus package. That is definitely not true. So you have to know the ground realities of like placement season here. So there's like all software companies, that's like Microsoft, Google, and all that stuff. And all the international profiles would be logged only for like CS, CS branch, and every other job is basically open for like all the other streams. So if like except like core companies, like if you have like Nvidia, it's going to be only open for like Elec and EP. So they won't be opening for civil because it doesn't make sense. Like Nvidia, Intel, Asus, or some companies like that. So the other, so every other option is open to any other branch. So if you have like really top jobs such as like management consulting, so like all the major management consulting companies come to IIT Madras, like BCG, McKinsey, Bain, Octus, like all these companies come, and that's a really strong like foundation to like actually grow up in any corporate life. We have also software roles, most of the software roles are open, like things like Gartner, Standard Chartered, Citibank, Deutsche. Yeah, that's sort of the roles that you could look at. There's also the fields such as data analytics. So you have data analytics companies such as Goldman Sachs coming into play. And fin mechanics and stuff like that. You have other finance companies also, like the things I told, Goldman Sachs, fin mechanics, Gartner. These are also finance firms. So you'll be like dealing with like cash flows of like 1,000 crores and stuff like that. So that gives you a lot, like really high compensation package. Like your salary is going to be really high if you go for these careers. And I got placed in Flipkart as a business analyst, and that was also really peaceful. Like it's not that much of effort. So it's not a top company, but I was not aiming for a placement. So this it's pretty easy. Like if you have EP foundation to like basically branch into any career prospect you want. And the important fact that you have to know there is that the flexibility that EP offers lets you pursue any field that you want. So you can basically like stop taking like engineering courses after your second year and like basically go into economics. And like we have had people going into like MS in economics or like MS in political science after like EP. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that basically, yeah.
That answered the question. Thank you. Another question is, right now I've passed my very advanced and I love coding, but my rank only allows me to go up to EP. So is it fine if I take EP as an ACAD course and then go into my coding interest with the help of electives?
Most definitely. So one thing you have to understand about like anything coding related, CS is not the only thing. So CS people don't have an edge in coding. They know the internal theoretical frameworks, but when it comes to like real life application and like building stuff, you have to have a lot of practice in it. That's how you like actually can build a stuff, and that's what companies value. So like if some company comes, you have to like solve some like data structures problem or something, which is very easy. And if you have to thrive in it, you have to show projects, like, and which is not inherently a CS thing. So like once you have like EP sorted out, like the first 2 years, you can basically do use your electives to like take courses in like advanced computer, like CS courses or LX courses, which is basically where like machine learning, artificial intelligence or algorithms sort of stuff comes into being. So if you want a coding job, then it's very highly recommended that you take EP, because it offers you the flexibility like to actually explore your interests.
Thank you, Sreejith. Another question is, so taking a person who has taken PhD right after they did their BTech in EP, what
Hmm.
do you think would have been the academic path that they took? Like after during their EP in BTech, what do you think they might have done? Then after that, what might they have done? And going up to the leading up to their PhD, what do you think the academic path would have been?
Oh, okay. So that would be a really subjective question. So mostly, like what most people do is that they figure out what they want to do by the second year. So they would have like juggled some research project in their first or second year, and came to know that they want to do research in the second year, and then they do a research internship in the third year. Like they go abroad, they work with some professors there, and they apply in the fourth year to go into PhD. But most people are not that linear in their journey. So like there are some people in my branch who like basically had this vision, like I would only do like postgraduate studies after my graduation. But most of the jobs, like most of the people just juggle other stuff. They get a feel for like how a placement scenario would come into be, like how would it be in coding. Because like personally for me, I have tried like coding, machine learning. I have tried like a lot of management, economics, and all that stuff. And I also did physics. And I basically shot like eliminated the rest to like come to physics. And I realized that I want to do physics, and I did research. Then I applied for a PhD and got it. So like that's a very subjective question. Like, so the very baseline is that you don't have to do research. Like you can explore. You can explore in EP, and that leads you to like do whatever career path you want.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that does actually answer the question. Another popular question is, you talked about students who might be going into management and consulting jobs. So how would they handle the conflict that comes between their career and their academics? Because both are in completely different directions.
Okay. Okay, so this is okay. I had a shortlist in one of the major consulting companies last year. So I had this exact conversation with a very senior person in the consulting company. I basically asked him like, I don't know if I'm a perfect fit, because I didn't do a corporate intern. I basically did a research intern. And what that guy told me, like, and that was reiterated a lot of times, like every time I interacted with the company, is that they only want people who can think smart. So if you want to break down a problem, so like what physics gives you is that it gives you a framework to think of things from like a ground up perspective. Like how does like small things work to like actually form a big stuff. So that could be, and this paradigm of like structurally and logically thinking about stuff is useful anywhere, like anywhere that you want. So like think of a very like simple business problem, such as like selling like a packet of biscuits. So how do you make sure that like you get like a packet of biscuit from the factory to like your nearby store, and to make sure that whenever a customer goes, there is enough number of biscuits for the shopkeeper to actually give. And there is like million different processes happening in between. You have to make sure that the production unit is right. You have to make sure the logistic unit is right. You have to make sure that you're giving the right amount of biscuits to a particular store. You have to make sure that the cash is like given back, like so that the shopkeeper pays the cash to this person. You have to make sure that which demand is there. So actually like needs you to like think about it from a very structured perspective. You can't like, so you have to understand like very logically what is happening at each point. And this is perfectly suited for a like physics graduate, because the entire learning. So in physics you basically start from the Schrodinger equation. You do some mathematical manipulation, and you basically get a solution for hydrogen, and you can like derive the spectrum for hydrogen and stuff like that, which is very logically arranged. So Schrodinger equation gives you this gives you this gives you this. So if you apply the same thinking perspective to a business problem, that leads to wonders. So that's basically what they want, and they highly encourage me to like actually apply for consulting and not think myself inferior. And this has been consistent. I've talked to a lot of people in a lot of consulting companies and management companies, and they really highly value like the people who have a physics background. uh, yeah, I hope that answers the question. Yeah.
Yes, please. So basically, we went through all the primary questions in chat as well as FAQ. So, do you have any closing remarks for the participants?
Okay, yeah. Okay. Like, just make sure that you like put in the effort. Like, don't just jump into any branch because somebody flamboyant said something that catched your eye. Like, put in your effort. Make sure that you understand like what you're getting into. And just because you're some uncle or some bhaiya told you something and like that seemed fancy, just go for it. Never base an important decision like this on one person's remarks. Make sure that you listen to everyone. I think Tensors is doing a really incredible job of like giving exposure to like graduates, like students from IITs to like know each branch. And just make sure that you like sit for every session and like hear about every branch before you make a decision. Like, never base your decision on one person. Like, talk to multiple people and be very serious about this. Like, this is gonna affect your life. Like, just and be responsible. Like, and make sure that you've like use your JOSA. Like, read the like rules and like all the instructions for JOSA while you're filling it. Don't make a mistakes. Like, you can't call them and like, hey, sorry, I did this mistake, please change. You can't. It's JOSA. It's very serious.
Yeah, that's true. So that was really insightful, Sreejith. That was a wonderful session.
Yep.
So to answer some of the people's questions in chat that goes into comparing branches and deciding what final branch you want to go to. So Tensors is actually conducting one-on-one sessions. You can have direct interactions with IITians, and the link will be posted in chat by Nagapan, and you can visit our website and register for the same as well. So I thank Sreejith for this session. I have people texting me saying that they should have joined EP right now after the session. Like, people are actually changed their perspective of the branch that they joined. So understandable that this was a wonderful session. So thank you, Sreejith. I invite Anfas to say some closing remarks so that we can end the meeting. Thank you.
All right. I'm not flexing, but I'm also from engineering physics myself. And this has been a really wonderful session. Thanks a lot. Joining Sreejith in that last sentence, we value the importance of the decision that you make right now, because we have personally seen people from a lot of branches who took the wrong branch due to the wrong reasons. And we will also like to tell you that JEE rank is something that cannot define your taste or your skill or your future. You have to understand that really well. If you're really willing to be part of a counseling program, you can register in our website with a small fee. The fee is only because it will be used to fund all our social projects that varies from helping other charity organizations, NGOs, to various technical problems in our society. And also in the counseling session, it won't be one session. The consultant assigned to you will be talking to you, understanding your strengths, your weakness, and will be helping you choose a branch. The consultant would already have talked to about 50-60 people from different branches and different IITs, so that he'll be as informed as he'll be the most informed in my choice, because it's very difficult for one person to dedicate that much time to something like this. So we really encourage people to be part of that. All right, we'll be stopping now.